All right, and welcome back. And so today we want to talk about something that, well, is pretty big right now, and that is the COVID-19 vaccines. Now, we did want to address that because there is a lot of information going around, and there's a lot of people who well, they have lots of people with lots of thoughts around this topic, and a lot of people are stressed out about it. A lot of people are worried about it for one reason or another. A lot of people are debating, like, should I get this? And so because it's such a big topic and so many people are having so many questions about it, we thought it would be good to address this. And so, Dad, just I guess to start off, I know you're more familiar with around this topic. What initial thoughts about any misinformation around this topic that you want to address?
Well, the first thing that we have to accept and realize that we are in a pandemic. So that's a fact now. Over a year ago, it was a lot of doubts, the validity of a problem. So many people kind of were drifting by, different ideas, political, religious, or other ideas. So, but now we all know, doesn't matter what we believe or not, we know that this is creating a serious problem for everybody. No, financially, because we have to kind of be more limited on the things we do. I mean, it's also taking people's life. So that's a point we don't have to discuss. There's still people that have some conspiracy theories about it. No, it's not exist. That thing is kind of dwindling down now. Most people believe there's a vaccine, but like anything, no. A number of things comes and always come through new information. No, like for example, once we know this a pandemic was real, it came another conspiracy theories. Like the mask. Okay, it doesn't work. No, and it was a lot of this debate. Within the round, a political round, and also individuals that had that idea that this virus could cross the mask into, and that is not the case. No, I mean, of course, we have to wash our hands. Avoid touching your face. No, after going into a public place. But anyways, now is the vaccine, so we got a new round of things. No, most people abide by the rules. The health rule to avoid transmission. Most people were using masks, washing their hands. So we really kind of constrain, a little bit this transmission. I mean, not completely because some people had this belief, they still were hanging around their mind, and also there was a bias. In regard to political inclination that actually got some people to follow their leaders in their own ideas. And that kind of, it was sad because a lot of people died that we could avoid to, but just, we all contribute together. But, that's probably a challenge because regardless of the information, the facts, whoever have fallen into the cult of conspiracy theories, they still, if you bring good information, they will think that you are part of this thing that is trying to take over your life and control your brain and kill you and whatever it is. These things are going to be analyzed and rationalized. So that's why is this continuous fighting with information that it's crazy. But anyways. Now we are in a different situation. We are with the vaccines. In the beginning was a little bit more pain going on, anxiety about facts about the vaccine. And of course, they spend a lot of efforts to kind of educate people. But even if you educate people, there's going to be few people that actually will continue with their beliefs, regardless of what kind of information you are giving them. Okay. That's because these conspiracy theories could turn into a cult thing. No, you kind of spiral it down with that belief, the idea that some demonized people are trying to harm everybody and kind of control over their lives so they can become evil, just like they are, that kind of ideas, they still persist in those individuals. So it's hard to get out of there. Okay, and it doesn't matter whether if you are educated or not educated person, you still could be caught up in some of the stuff, particularly because it is promoted by political people, it's promoted by individuals that have a high rank position, whatever it is, or they own money, they have money. So, or there might be some doctor or scientist that's angry with the medical platform, and they might jump into putting a video. It becomes credible. Okay, uh, uh, incomplete information is placed on blogs, and then people don't read. Really, that's the problem. People don't read details. They don't research the validity of the things that are coming into these videos. That makes it really hard for them. And some people that are really with good intention, with the fears and anxiety, they could probably post those videos and it goes to another 100 people in their circle of influence. But the funny thing is that the people that are sending, they're not even reading. They're not even trying to figure out who is this person that's talking there. Okay. They're not trying to figure out the data. They're not reading the details. They're not going to the source of information. They just, probably check on one or two things. Oh, this guy look handsome, and he looks like he's knowledgeable. He's probably good in speaking. Okay, is wearing a doctor's attire, or maybe is preaching from a pulpit. Okay, in a church or somewhere else, and they don't even. Once when they get there, they not even go in details in trying to understand the things that are being said. And it could turn into a relief, and we can be cut up. Like I get a lot of emails and texts from people. I have thousands and thousands of inquire from people that are sending me this video and that video. And it's asking me, I got this from my cousin or from this person. And it looks like credible. And when I open those videos, you really look like they're credible in the way how they put it, like everything. They get witness, which is somebody that has a name. Sometimes I research their names and they don't belong to the face of the person that is speaking on the video. Okay. Sometimes, it's a doctor and then once when I research on those doctors, I can see there's a history of a lot of conspiracy theories, or I find a root and I found a political group that is promoting, or I find that there is somebody that already have been caught up in the cult of this conspiracy for years, And this is the case now. And talking about vaccination, it's the same thing, This is nothing new against vaccines. It's been around for a while. There's been certain figures that are well known, some political figures, some doctors, not many, but few. Some they had good intention. They think and some they really been caught up into a false idea of that people are planning to destroy other people so they can control them. Like the government has plans, and institutions they have plans. Private company have planned. This person has a plan, and it's part of some elite of people are being controlled by the devil or something, or some extraterrestrial from other planets. And of course, we laugh about this. We could laugh and say, "Wow, okay, that's interesting." Okay, we probably saw that on the Inquirer, a few years ago. And we probably were in front of the cashier looking at the magazine or the newspaper, Inquirer, and you just look in the front and you just say, that's crazy, but it was okay. So you never went with that idea to your home thinking, is it Michael Jackson, an extraterrestrial person? You just laugh about it, And you just probably told your wife, hey, what I saw in this magazine? And that's the end. But now it's just with the way how this thing spreads, there are some individuals that are really suffering in different ways. Not necessarily about this conspiracy, but there's no clarity, in their mind because a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety for other reasons. Family issues, health issues, financial issues, and this is something that's been probably happening for decades, or for years, or for a few months. Very fragile. And these people are actually looking to get better in a way or another. They want a better life. So, and they've been pulled between having hope and despair in their life. So these are individuals that are very easy swayed. They sway to it because they want a solution somewhere. And then somebody stands in the pulpit and they might think, oh, okay, this is my savior. No, could it be a political figure? It could be somebody that's proclaiming, to be your side. So these are the people that, unfortunately, their mental state is not at their best. They're not necessarily crazy. People that can be having a normal job, have a family, okay? But internally they are suffering for other reasons. There's probably some level of anxiety. Imagine, Ulysses, if you are going through depression, even if it's small, little bit of anxiety and stress, and you being wary with this. See, and perhaps the first thing that comes into your life is that maybe for this to end, okay, or something to happen, maybe you want war. You want a war to finish up. No, stop all this craziness because, we don't understand, and we're trying to really put the responsibility of your emotional state into something else, and you expect some kind of miracle, okay? And sometimes the miracle could be, maybe the government to be destroyed and change, no? Or sometimes could it be anything, and if someone comes with the idea, and it comes into a video, okay, that there is a demonized group, okay, is trying to take over, so you can turn into a hero and a patriot. And you might join the movement. I mean, not necessarily going and killing anybody, but I probably need to be make aware of this evilish thing to my friends. And you just send these videos. And you fit yourself into that. Okay. It's a way how we're trying to escape from our own suffering. Okay. And we gotta even be compassionate, even with people that are caught up in these things. Can't go and attack them because, of course, we're not going to just sit there, no, not to give information, not to clarify information. We have to do something about it, no. We have to really teach other people. And to some people, we might be able to really pull them out, but it takes a little bit of work. But that's the reason why we are in this. And this is not going to be the only thing, okay? It is from the vaccine to anything else, to another virus, maybe, I don't know, maybe like I was reading some of the newest conspiracy theories, that it was this big ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal. Mm-hmm. You hear about that news, no?
Yeah.
The new thing it was that, a conspiracy that unfortunately they moved that because in that big ship there were little kids that were kidnapped. And there was part of the stack was done because God, it was stopping them. So supposedly, according to this conspiracy thing, that it started with something that you will listen and say, well, that's kind of something, okay? But some people will believe, actually, that there were kids there. They were being kidnapped, and these kids are being used for businesses, for sexual abuse and some of the abuse. And there were thousands and thousands of kids. And there's some prominent figures that are part of that kids' negotiations and to kind of use these kids. So what do you think about that? What's your impression with you? You might. What do you think as you see that to be running around that information?
I mean, my initial
There is somebody come up with that idea that there's something there in the big ship that is transporting goods actually, and it's affecting the economy of certain countries because like Suez is being stopped.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty far fetched. Sounds like a stretch to me.
It's quite a stretch, but there are some people that actually believe after it came up. Okay, so and we would say, who in the world will believe that? Okay, it might be somebody that really way out there, but you know what? There's people that have already been caught up in it, and they are educated people. They are people that are probably even profess some religious beliefs. They have families, no, and they get caught up in those ideas. So, but now going back to the vaccine because it's what we hear, but it's also we educate ourselves to understand the process of all these down spiral, into these things that happen. But in regard to this vaccine, we have to really understand their benefits. Okay, one, we prevent us from getting COVID-19. Another one, prevent us from spreading. Okay, so and the more people there is with this, in the community, we protect everybody, making it harder for the disease, the virus to spread, and we're doing together, contributing to herd immunity. Prevent the virus from spreading and replicating, which is prevent and avoiding new mutations. So in that way, we are contributing together. So you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask, so how does the vaccine work, or these vaccines work? Because that is, I think, also another there's a lot of misinformation about that, about people thinking, oh, they're injecting you with COVID and all these different things.
Yeah, to make a vaccine is a little hard. It takes a few years. But, we were in the middle of the pandemic, so things were rushed. Of course, after a lot of testing, it came out with a few vaccines that came on the first plane, those that the FDA approved it as an emergency. So it was approved. Normally it takes longer to have this approval, but the FDA approved as an emergency. The first one was Pfizer, and this is a 95% effective, in preventing the COVID, any other symptoms from the COVID. So it's for people that are 60 and older. It requires 2 injections within 21 days apart. So the next one is COVID, the Moderna, which is about 95% effective. It prevents also the virus and symptoms. It's for people 18 and older. It requires 2 injections too. And then the one that was just approved was Johnson & Johnson. Okay, it's even though each one is still in clinical trials, but it's been approved because of the emergency wear, because there's so many people that die and continue dying. So this was good. This vaccine is about 85% effective at preventing the disease of this virus, and is about 66% effective in preventing the COVID. Also for 18-year-old older. So the Pfizer and Moderna, they have the same process. So what they done is use the messenger RNA. So the coronavirus on the outside has like a spike. It's make us some molecules. It's a molecular structure. They call it the S protein. So these COVID-19 vaccines for Pfizer and Moderna actually give instructions. So when the vaccine goes, it gives instruction to our body, okay, to put the protein on the bloodstream. So when the vaccination happened, our cells began making pieces and displaying them on cell surface. So the immune system recognize that the little part of the spike of the protein, which is not really the virus, okay, it knows that doesn't belong there, and it starts building immune response, and it makes antibodies. So that's for those two vaccines. Johnson & Johnson is a little different. It's a vector vaccine. So this is a type where they kind of use some of the generic materials from the COVID and put it into a very weak, virus from the adenovirus, which is from the one that gives us the flu. So when the weakening virus goes in your body, so the cells of the body start producing the S protein. So now again, the immune system produces antibodies. So this is safe to use it. It can cause, it doesn't produce any virus. So some of the information that's out there is wrong. The vaccine protect us, and it's a good way to do this. They are safe. There are some symptoms for some people. So far in the United States, been 60 million people has been vaccinated, with only a few people that have had some reported some side effects.
All right, I guess that's one of the biggest things. I think one of the biggest concerns people have is, is this safe? Should I take it? Is it actually effective? And I think you've already answered those questions.
There's another question that's been coming, and somebody wrote, is we know that there's a variant, another type of mutated vaccine. Okay, is this vaccine effective for that? Well, the answer is, so far these variants, there's 3 different types that's been found. Okay, they're very fast for transmission. Fortunately, the outside, the protein outside, it is the same protein as the initial virus that came. So when they first emerged, so these vaccines are good for this because it's the S protein is the one we discussed, and this vaccine's been made to actually be sure the antibodies produced from the information from this molecule that is the S protein. So far we're safe. We don't know if it's any other mutation happen. And the thing is, why this mutation happen is the more people are infected, the more chances that new mutations are. So this idea that we can just be infected, let some people die, so we can have immunity, is one of the craziest ideas that can happen, because we're 8 billion people. Some of us, we have some genetic mutations. Those viruses interact with our genes. And there is a potential chances as we going from the virus going from infecting one person to another person to another person, that in the process through these viruses, they interact with our genes, and a new mutation can be produced. Okay, and we found that we actually found that out through this variant that happened, and we had 3 different ones, and it happened because too many people has been infected in the world. So this is one reason why we really need to listen to science, a real science. No, not somebody that isolated come out with some idea because he has a bias. Okay, and he's probably deep inside is thinking that it's better if the world ends somehow, or that if it's a revolution and everybody kill each other, so the good guys stay and we kill the bad guys. So, or deep inside, sometimes these people that are doing this, it's actually, they have their own agenda. Could be political, could be based on their own beliefs that have been coming out for a long time, deep inside, maybe verbally expressed or not expressed. So we have to be careful. No, can we change these individuals? I don't know. Probably they could. But for now, we have a mission together, not to be compassionate. Now, this is what compassion is. This is why I use a mask. I don't like it. I just came from Mexico from a long trip, and I was with the mask for a few hours, and it's fine. No, even though I don't like it, I think about my kids, the neighbors, the person that I can transmit, a virus if I pick it up, and I think, myself, and that's where the compassion is. And if I don't really think much about me, because maybe I think, oh, I'm healthy, not a big deal, nothing's going to happen, it's okay if you think that way. But compassion is not about me. Of course, it's about me, but if I think about my grandma and grandpa and, neighbors, somebody else that might be fragile or some vulnerability might be because of any existing disease or inflammation. And that could be somebody that we love much. Maybe a teacher we are not seeing for a long time, somebody we appreciate in the neighborhood and that we care, or they probably reinforce our life by just talking to us, or a coach or a good friend at school. So that's what we do this.
Yeah. Well, Dad, I really appreciate you, I guess, clarifying a few things and the information that you bring. And if there's any other questions that you guys have regarding, not just regarding this topic, but anything else, go ahead and let us know. We'd love to address them. And I think we'll end with that unless you have any last thoughts.
Well, just go and get your vaccine, see what is available. I was glad to see that in Mexico they are doing a lot of vaccinations. No, it was slow start. Fortunately, the United States has been really having some to do with this increase of vaccines. The United States sending vaccines to Mexico, Canada, and I think this is what life should be. No. A way how we always looking for each other. I mean, there is no me and you separately to have health and really grow. We need to consider how close related we are, how close we are, how much we need each other for anything. Our economy, our mental health, physical health, and also to protect this beautiful planet. We all, if we do that, and we're not trying to be excluding some people, no? Because sometimes, we might get to the point where we want to only share our life or are compassionate to this person. No, I'm going to be compassionate with my son only, no? And my cat, no? Because that's maybe all I can think I can do the best. That's not a way to live, no? This is where we are spreading light everywhere, wherever we go, no? That person on the line, this other person on the cashier, the man that answers the phone on customer service, guy that's driving in front of us. So that's what really makes our body healthy in our mind, and we can get more clarity. So let's together do this and get over this and learn a lesson, okay? And put more attention to our body so our immune system can really be strong enough to handle the new pandemic that it might be just next few years. We don't know. Or maybe in the next 100 years. Who knows?
Yeah. And I do want to emphasize that as well, that, even after COVID is done, like whatever the case may be with COVID, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't stop, having compassion, that we shouldn't stop taking care of our mental and physical health, because you never know. 10 years, there might be something else that's new. There's always a good reason to keep yourself healthy.